Hi, this is Keith with How to Build Your Own Home, and I'm looking at a job site up here, or a possible future job site, looking at a lot. I thought I'd let you in on how we talk, what we're talking about. I'll be walking with my daughter. She's my next in command. She's the next generation of Kelsch construction, and we're just going to walk around and take a look at a mountain cabin potential build here and see what we find out. I'm going to go check it out. Typically a small pedestal like this is low voltage. Sometimes it's high power, but most of the time this is low voltage. Cable, television, internet, stuff like that. We want to walk all the way over here and check it out in the back. We've got which is really called a dry creek bed here, and you can tell it had some water recently from a rainstorm, and I looked at this from a satellite dimension. I was kind of worried about that, but it's way back here and it's got a lot of rock in it, so it's not going to get washed out. This is really ancient. It's been here for a long time, but it's good to see that rock. But that rock indicates what you're going to find inside the earth here is very much the same what you see right here. So nothing really big. There are some large ones that are 3, 4, 5 feet in diameter, but I don't see any on the lot here. We were thinking about possibly a basement, but I'm still worried about a water table issue. If I did do a basement, I'd lift this pad quite a bit. If you can look over here, we could do a walkout, but I'm more inclined to fill this in with dirt to get it out of this wash, because we saw a flood up here a couple of weeks ago. It was pretty bad, and this could fill up, and you can see how it washed out it is, how high it can get. We've got some exposed boulders along the side here, so that can get up 2-3 feet of a high wash. And if that gets up and you've got a basement, then you've got the possibility of water getting into the basement. Like I said, I'm always thinking about water. It's the #1 enemy to a home. So if I did do a basement, I would lift this up quite a bit. And it slopes down further as you get down to the street. Now there's a culvert there. Yeah, you can see all the pine cones right there. That means it came down, washed all those pine cones down. Then when it dried out, it settled all the pine cones, which is indicative that that culvert might not be sized appropriately. So this fills up with water when it does have a large rainstorm. So again, that can creep up into here, then it can creep up into a basement if you had your basement below this water line. So, plus you see stuff like this when you have some outcropping. This is granite, the kind of a conglomerate. You want a porch in the front, and I don't know how big this is. So if again we went down, we'd be running into stuff like this. So some good fill would be great to bring in here. Got some more large boulders here. Another large one here. Yeah, you could possibly do a basement over here, but you'd have to bring in this pad quite a bit. When you look at property, some investigation is really good in order. I'm not too worried about my soils and my percolation test. I really understand this. I don't have any collapsible soils up here. I don't really have expandable soils. I kind of know the area. That's not what I'm worried about. What I'm mostly concerned about is lifting the whole pad, and I know that this particular parcel had a couple of offers on it and it backed off, and most of that's just financing, but maybe they investigated something and saw something that kind of bothered them. And one of the things that's worrisome on this is it slopes down there to that dry creek bed, and so it's not a ready build lot. It needs some excavation and needs some amelioration. It needs to be brought up to a pad ready build, and that doesn't scare me. I've got some equipment. I know a couple of builders up here. If they do a basement up here and they're digging down, I go, bring your fill here. We'll take off all the brush, all the scrub, clean it all up, take a lot of the large boulders and kind of beef up that dry creek bed back there, and then get ready for some fill, because right here from the street it starts to slope down immediately towards the home, and you don't want that. You want this to slope up to the home. Again, most subdivisions are going to want anywhere from a foot to more the house above the center line of the street. I was talking with a client who's building in, I think, Indiana, and I think he's building in a cornfield. He knows who he is, and I says, make sure that when you lift that home, when you place that home, you don't sit it flat with a cornfield. You put that home up a foot to 2 feet up the top of the foundation, so you have water running away from the home, not towards the home. So this doesn't scare me. It looks like a beautiful, beautiful lot. It needs some help with excavation. I would estimate, maybe $15,000 to $25,000 of excavation. Now that I know that, I can approach the seller with that understanding that it's not particularly ready. It's got water. I have some power to it. It does have low voltage, so it has utilities to it. It will require a septic, and that's probably another caveat, is that septic can't be down by the water line. It's got to be up above the water line, and I have to qualify for that. So that could have been one thing that discouraged some buyers. But I think it's big enough of a lot that it could have a place for a septic, a shallow system, not a deep septic system. So far it looks okay. I just know where my numbers are. I kind of know where they would be to make this ready to build. But beautiful, beautiful area, beautiful area. I'll let you know what happens. You guys take care.